What's good, boys? Welcome to today's market recap. I didn't take a trade today. Today is December 13th, 2026. Nothing went on yesterday. I didn't drop a trade recap for yesterday. We ended up just fucking shitting the bed right here, right at market open. There was really nothing to go over. However, today, I do want to go over some stuff because I feel like there's good informational value today. So, coming into this morning, we had news at 8:30. And I ended up passing a few evals with the news on alpha, so that was pretty cool. But we had data highs, data lows, right? 8:30 candle, data highs, data lows. What else is around us? So if I go to the hourly, what am I looking at? Okay, I noticed that we're inside of this hourly gap right here, which is the same thing as a 4 hour. We're also inside of a 4 hour. Okay, off rip, I'm noticing that. Also, what I'm noticing is that we don't have, or we have yet to rebalance this entire leg down that was made from yesterday. Okay, so I'm looking at like 50% of this range. What is over here? I'm looking at this unfilled 15-minute gap right here, this unfilled 4 hour, there's unfilled 5 minute, just if you want to get greedy with your take profits, but more so just literally just this unfilled 4 hour gap. So at this point in time, I'm like, okay, if market opens and we do something like this, okay, and we do something like this, we pump higher towards these relatively equal highs with data highs, and this was really my draw for today. So I had the neutral bodies coming into this morning, but if we were to take out these relative equal highs first, I would then go ahead and target the lows, and if we took out the lows first, I would then go ahead and target the highs. However, now, if you guys see this candle right here, we left equal lows with this 930 wick, and this 930 wick is a really good draw. So hypothetically, if we came up, and let's say we just trended higher, right, took out these highs, maybe even came up and took out the 4 hour, I would then look for shorts down towards like this wick right here. However, let's see how this ends up playing out. Okay, we kind of continue higher, and then we end up leaving. Let me just get this out the way, right? We're still inside of that bullish gap. We end up leaving another set of relative equal highs right here, right? So we left data highs still with a liquidity pool, okay? At this point in time, I'm like, all right, I want to see longs. We just took out these equal lows right here too. I want to see longs, And for whatever reason, as we were chopping around, I decided to go on alpha futures, and I'm trying to do my KYC process to get verification so I can activate my newly passed evals, right? Well, the whole time I'm doing that, I missed the most beautiful setup of all fucking time, right? We come down here, we get, oh my god, this is literally the best trade of the week. We get this kind of a big stop loss. You have a 75-point stop loss, but then your TP would be right here, resting at these relative equal highs for data, right? And your break-even point can be somewhere in here. I would go like this 1 minute high right here, or this 1 minute wick. That's where I'd go break even at. Let's go ahead and see how this plays out. We have 1 minute BPR that we can go ahead and reject. All right, we have BPR right in here that should get created with this next candle. Yeah, so we have 1 minute BPR. So if you want, you could put your stops just a little bit higher for better RR, but I would just do it at the bottom of the fair value gap, just in case, right? And then what ends up happening, boom, took past our break-even point. You can hit TP1 if you guys wanted to take profits right there. Kind of edge data high still, and then the very next candle, we end up taking it out. So that was literally trade of the week. Absolutely beautiful setup. I missed it because I was on alpha futures doing my KYC process, fucking like a retard. So other than that, there was this 5 minute. I don't know if any of you guys took shorts this morning. I didn't really like any shorts, right? We tapped into this 5 minute right here, and then I think we got like a 1 minute down to the left somewhere. Oh yeah, we ended up inversing this giant 1 minute fair value gap that was created with data, right? So you guys could have, now I don't like taking these after it's been tapped into a million times. However, I have started to back test a little bit, and I've noticed that if we leave, like if we're testing this a million times, okay, and we finally break it, and we have a clear draw lower, which in this case was the 930 wick, which was equal lows, you can go ahead and take the short. You can do like CE of this wick right here if you want your stop loss there, whatever. And then you can either target the equal lows or all this liquidity down here. And that's would have been your short setup of the day. However, I was leaning more, I had a pretty neutral bias, but I was leaning more bullish coming in this morning. Whatever. We also had this accumulation zone manipulation. Awesome. Just a mistrade by me today. Honestly, it is what it is. But yeah, I passed some evals, so I'm not mad about how I played this Friday, but a little irritating I missed it. Anyways, let's continue. Okay, what ends up happening? We end up coming out, taking out data highs. retapped into a 50-minute fair value gap that has still yet to get broken to the upside. Let's come over here to the left. Where is it? I think it's this fair value gap right here. Fair value gap has still yet to get broke to the upside. Okay. That being said, we had hourly intermediate highs above. So I really didn't want to short until we took out these intermediate highs. And also the reason why I wasn't really a fan of shorts after we took out these data lows was because if you come to this hourly, now I know some of you guys might have a question about this, especially in the Discord. You guys come to this hourly over here, okay, which is also a 4-hour gap. I don't like targeting liquidity pools that have already been swept out multiple times inside of a fair value gap. So as you can see, what do? We create a swing low inside of this gap. Okay. And what do we end up doing? We end up taking out that swing low. So awesome. Off rip. Now this is just a lower probability low for price to come and revisit, because technically this low should be protected. Now if we sweep it out multiple times, like here we go again. We swept it out again right here. We actually had an SMT right here until this 9 a.m. wick, or like the 9:30 whatever, came down and swept it out. So here's another sweep inside this gap, and then we did it one more time. So this is why I really wasn't a big fan of shorts, was because we have took out so many lows inside of this fair value gap. Look, we have one that got swept out right here, we have this one that got swept out right here, and then we created another low that ended up getting swept out again. And at that point in time, we still had this SMT from the 6:30 to here. If you come to over to ES, oh no, it looks like we ended up taking it out. Don't listen to me. Okay, so no SMT. I thought we had one. I'm pretty sure we did until we ended up creating this massive move. But long story short, if I see so many lows just getting wicked out and swept inside of a high time frame gap like this, like we're inside of a 4-hour and a 1-hour, I don't want to be targeting those lows. That's, to me, that's high resistance, and there should be no reason why price would go and revisit that. So there was a 2-minute short that actually I was close to entering. It was right here. And I was pretty close to entering this. And I was like, honestly, if I take this loss, I would be pretty mad, because the draw on liquidity just isn't fucking clear, right? If I want to take a trade, I need to have a very clear DOL. And even though we had like more lows down here, like we had these hourly intermediate lows, we had more hourly intermediate lows down here, right? Even though we had those draws, like, I mean, I really wanted to see 9 a.m., that 1-hour 9 a.m. candle close beneath this fair value gap, and same thing with the 10 a.m. 4-hour. I wanted to see that close beneath, or this technically the 6 a.m. 4-hour candle. I wanted to see that close beneath this fair value gap, and we just didn't get that. We got an immediate bullish reaction, and yeah, we, like I said, we didn't end up coming and rebalancing this leg up here. We're still super fucking discounted, where if you want to take shorts, like, it's not the best thing. It's like if you want to go longs and you're super fucking premium, it's the same shit, right? So if I really wanted to take shorts today, it would have been just if we left data lows and swept out data highs first, then we can target those data lows, or that 9:30 wick that created equal lows. But if I really did want to take shorts after both of those draws we already took, I would need to see a push into this 4-hour at least, and then see a rejection out of this 4-hour. And we just didn't end up getting that. We just ended up chopping. This 2-minute did not end up working out. Here's what the trade idea would have looked like, right? My stop, I would have de-risked like heavy, because I would have had a 100-point stop loss, so I probably would have went in with like 2 micros, and then you could just aim for a 1-to-1 down towards this wick, or if you want an extendo TP for like 200 points, could have did that. And then look at the price action, right? We had no clear draws on both sides. Yeah, we ended up coming and taking out the hourly intermediate high, and at that point in time, we ended up edging the 4-hour, come back down. Like, we're not really doing much. We don't have any really clear draws on both sides of the market. So yeah, after we took out the data lows, I was like, okay, maybe we can target data highs. We have all this liquidity resting right here, whatever. And we took out the data highs, and then after that, we just completely stalled. And honestly, I was expecting that, because the draws on liquidity just were not clear. So yeah, the objective was met for the day, and that's basically it. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, go ahead and leave them in the comments. I hope that answered your question, especially about that 2-minute short as to why it didn't work out. But yeah, links for everything are in the description. Free Discord's in the description. Code LoeGpa for 40% off on your Lucid Trades accounts. That's in the description as well. I actually do have a Alpha Futures account, so if you guys want or a discount code, so if you guys want the 20% off right now, just comment Alpha in the comments, and I'll leave it down below. It's a weak ass code. They didn't let me create a custom one. So yeah, we have 20 seconds. Let's get this video to 10 minutes. If you guys made it this far, let me know what you guys are doing this weekend. I want to go golfing There's really no sports on. I mean, the fucking Olympics are on, but I'm not a big ice hockey guy. You know, that's like the only thing I'd watch. It is cool seeing those people skiing down the slopes and they eat shit. I really like that. But yeah, other than that, we've reached the 10-minute mark. I'll stop yapping now. And I hope you guys have a good weekend. I will catch y'all boys back on Monday.